be something a little different than normal. I have a lot of people always asking me questions that are in the videos. So I'm going to go live and just run through these videos one at a time. And you guys can just ask me anything about the build. And in the meantime, I get to check out some of my older stuff that got kind of buried and you don't get to see it anymore. So, hey, what's up, Michael? So, let's run this.
Let's be the good life.
The amp rack or anything like that, now's the time to ask. This will be the first video. I might run a second one if everybody likes what I'm doing here, but you know, people ask me these questions all the time. And it's like, hey, you can ask me right now when you see something. So here we go, we got the caddy.
6 o'clock on a Christmas Eve morning. Been tossing around a few ideas yesterday.
What up, you guys?
Moved some stuff around. Some of the things I wanted to do
Just doing off
were not going to work for what I'm doing. And this is, I think, the way that I'm going to do it. I think.
Just doing this for a little bit of fun.
So it's kind of mock.
This is just a little bit of fun. I get to go over some of my old stuff and check it out. And if you guys haven't seen this, go ahead and hit the like button. I got a lot of videos on this subject. You know, the caddy didn't just fall out of the sky. It was a lot of thought and a lot of work, and mainly a lot of thought. I mean, I don't know. You just start throwing stuff in there and seeing what fits, and you just take it from there. It's all freestyle. So if you guys got any live questions while this is happening, I'll stop the video and answer them for you. So let's go.
Hooked up. Got a 2x4 running across the top.
Can we get you
That's not going to stay that way, obviously.
Just
trying to see how all this stuff is going to fit. With the Demore Engineering 1500.2, 2 of those, one for each pair of 15s, and 2 1500.4s for the mids and highs.
As you might know, that crossover eventually got changed. Something
and of course, behind this proposed little amp rack, we got 4 Titan 8 S6s. These are 14-volt lithium batteries. Now that I saw that I have a gap in here, it's going to bug me, so I ordered another one. There's going to be 5 in here. And there'll still be a small little gap on each end, but not enough to fill it with another battery. So at least it'll be more even than it is now. So this is all just mocked up. I need to bring it over there to the bench and start building.
How about now?
Of course, hours and hours of drawing and measuring and doing all sorts of stuff in order to get to this point.
Okay, so right here we're on the CNC machine. Actually, we're on CAD first. So I kind of just drew this stuff up to see what would happen.
Hopefully it'll be worth it in the end.
Yep. How many of you guys remember this? Because sometimes when I rehash some of my older stuff with these YouTube shorts, I get so many people that say, I had no idea. So some people complain, they're like, oh, why are you running this again? But I get so many new viewers that have no idea that, hey, there's always fun ways to rehash.
Something like this here.
Yep. So this is where it all starts, with an idea.
A whole bunch of them to create what I'm about to create.
Hey, Sack916, I appreciate you, man, for being there through all of it. And not only that, but it's a lot of editing too. And filming with one hand and building with one hand. What up, car audio?
Border around the white. We'll do 1/2 inch with the 1/8 inch on each side. Should give me the 0.75 that I want.
We'll talk about the DD1 Plus and how to do all that in maybe live while I'm gaming or something. I want to stick to this subject, but it's not hard, man. You just set your game where you want it and then turn the OM1 up. Yeah, man, Shannon, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. So this acrylic, I believe, is it 3/8 or is it 1/2 inch? Oh man, I already forgot. This right here is 1/8 inch white.
We got some white acrylic.
Yep. Just like I'm saying in the video.
All this waste just for a little bit of trim.
So wasteful. So wasteful. Just for these.
Hopefully it'll look good.
You lose a lot of that stuff in between. Hey, how do I sound? Am I yelling too loud? Because I got these earphones on and I sound loud.
And a little bit of black.
Turn that down a little bit.
Really
Am I yelling?
Outer trim where the white is.
Hey, I told you, Heavy. People, I mean, it's car audio. People don't really care about my video game videos, but it's fine. I do that for fun so I can chill with you guys. Come on, let's see 100 people in here.
All that just for this. What a waste. I'll find something to do with that inside piece, maybe.
I appreciate you, Moish.
We have 1/2 inch acrylic.
I don't know how to say your name, brother.
With 1/8 inch mirror, 1/8" white trim. And we got more 1/8" white with black trim over there. That goes on the other side of these ones here, these outside end caps.
To be honest,
to be put on yet because
this is freestyle, straight freestyle.
Yet.
I was just making this up as I was going. Well, I mean, I drew it on the computer first, but here we go. There's the material list. Oh, hold on a second, I'm in the way. Hold on, I'm gonna pause that real quick. We're gonna back that up just a little bit. Let me get my face out of the way here, you guys. How do I make my face disappear real quick here? All right, so we're gonna turn this webcam off for a second. Oops. Oh, no, we're not trying to remove it. We're trying to there we go. All right, there we go. Take my face out of there for a minute. Okay, so there you go. Now we're gonna put my face back in here for now, so y'all can see me. We got 100 people in here. I appreciate all you guys. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be looking at the comments. Hey, what's up, Devin? How you doing, man? What up, Blaine? Hey, we got 10 bucks from Jeremy. Jeremy Smithson. Hey, man, you got my full attention. Nobody has to pay me anything, but if you do, you got my full attention, man. I'll personally ask you or answer whatever you got to ask. I'm looking for you. Shout out to Jeremy. I will give you my personal attention for $9.99. That's better than a cameo. Well, for me, anyways. Hey, what up, Andy? What up, Sparked Innovations in the goddamn house? Hey, sponsored by Second Skin, sponsored by Excess Power. My favorite lithium batteries. Well, my only lithium batteries. And you can too for $9.99. Shout out to my brother Jeremy. Thank you so much. See, look how thick this is getting. This is all sandwich.
Bring it over there.
Now, when this is all done, I'll kind of tell you guys my regrets. Some of the regrets I had throughout this process, because whenever you're building something like this, you always wish you would have done something a little different. And there's a couple things I would have done different for sure. I just don't want to pull this whole thing apart and redo it. Oh, but look at that fit, you guys. Look at that. Oh, First of all, I made it a little bit harder on myself to replace an amp if I have a problem. I haven't had any problems like that. But, well, in the beginning I had one kind of had like a little problem, but they fixed it real quick. But I haven't had no problems ever since. Yeah, I made it kind of hard on myself, but so far nothing's breaking, so I'm happy. Alright, so here we are back on the laser. I'm trying to remember if this is 1/2 inch or 3/8. I think no, this is 3/8 right here. So all those little holes right there, those are all predetermined. I haven't tapped anything yet.
Alright, this is good now.
Great, man. 100 people in here. I love it, you guys. Keep them coming.
And an
hey, thank you, King Louis.
Plate. So that's next.
Louis 1-3 in the motherfucking house.
We got
love
some
it.
1-inch.
Love me some Louis 1-3
here. And I got some 3/4 inch acrylic over there. Hoping for.
Hey, car audio enthusiast. Thank you, man. I like that too.
This. See the little notches that's going to accommodate the side feet. And the little holes in the other grooves are going to be so wires can pass underneath.
Okay, so this is my bottom acrylic.
And of course we got this one right here too.
That sits inside the HDP, so the acrylic can light up, and then the wires can also pass underneath the amps.
This is the base
and go to the back.
going to sit on. It's hard to tell on video, but this is countersunk 3/4 of an inch for that thing to sit inside. And it's time to cut.
You're gonna put a VM1 on one of the fannies? I'll believe it when I see it. I love it though. Hey, look at now. Check out this saw, you guys. I'm gonna. This saw right here, this Milwaukee panel saw is the superstar of the day. It's the superstar of my entire shop. I think it's like the first or the second thing I ever bought for my shop when I first got it. I'm trying to remember if my lift or if this was first. But I've had this thing 14 years, and it's still working. We still use it every single day. So shout out to Milwaukee for a great little panel saw. I mean, it's not the most rigid, super strong one like something you would see over at Gately's. He's got a man's panel saw. This one, it's good, and it gets the job done, and it's real handy. Normally for CNC jobs, we always cut stuff small, or we cut it small enough to fit what we're doing. If it's a 20-inch piece, I'll cut a 21 and bring it to the CNC machine and cut it off there. No sense in bringing a full sheet over to the machine when you could just make it smaller and bring it over. So that's the real superstar right there. Can I adjust the degree of what table? Sorry, brother, I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, the saw was first. Hey, if you guys remember that, I love you. I love you more than you think, more than you know. Hey, don't make me go into some videos and show you guys what the shop looked like when I first got in here. I have them all queued up. They're somewhere ready to go.
Now it's time to grab a slab of acrylic, 3/4. Got a big chunk right there, ready to go. Well, not quite ready to go. I'm gonna have to cut it.
Yes, sir. Hey, TM1. All right, I like Andy. The TM1. I like that idea a lot. No, there's no. You don't do any angles with it or anything. It's just flat cut off. But you can twist it and do horizontal cuts with it. So when I get pieces that are like 54 inches, I'll turn it sideways and cut that 6 inches off so I can get the 48. Yeah, heavy base. The shop wasn't empty, but I sure didn't have all the machines that I have now. I have some of my machines, but I added a whole bunch more stuff since this video was shot. Yep. Oh, Van City, you said gotcha, but I don't know what you asked. Oh, no, there you are. You're the one that asked about the degree. My bad. Yes, sir. Yep, years in the making. Here we are. Now, if you're wondering why I do this, okay, let me tell you, I'll stop this video, show you why I'm doing the electric slide. So, what I do, and what I taught myself, because nobody ever taught me anything about these machines at all, period. I tape everything down to the table. I have vacuum tables. These are all plumbed, and they see all the little handles at the bottom. So my plumbing is there for the vacuum hold down, and my very first CNC machine, which is my my blue, the Bally. I actually do have the vacuum hold down for that ready to go. But that thing is so loud, I can't imagine listening to that all day long. So I decided not to put the actual vacuums on my Smart Shop Lagunas. I've got 3 of them now. This is my second one right here, or my first Smart Shop, but my second CNC. So I use template tape, same thing you would use with a hand router. But the trick is that if you look, you can see that that's actually melamine. So I've got melamine attached to the table, and then my projects stick to the melamine. So this one looks like it's a little bit hashed. At the time, the spoil board looks like it's getting pretty bad. But when I've got a new spoil board, yeah, you can cut stuff all day long. And as long as that tape hits that white melamine on top of that spoil board, it'll stick and hold down. And then also, it pops back off when you're done. So, works out great. And since the time of this being shot, we've also came up with new techniques that barely touch the table. So I could have a spoil board on my table for like 2 years without having to replace it. So the techniques have gotten better and everything else, but I still tape everything down.
Got the Brando getting my machine ready for me.
Yeah, car audio enthusiast. CAE is what I'll call you. It is definitely more of a factory than a shop. It's never really been a shop. All my builds over the years is hobby, just like everybody else. The real heroes in this world are the stereo shop owners. Me, this is a hobby for me, and it's a fun hobby. But my factory stuff isn't a hobby anymore. It's real. But the builds are just for fun, just like all you guys. The Scary frame in the background. The scar frame? What's the scar frame? You mean the
This piece is about to get hollowed out all
the photo, the poster?
almost to the bottom.
What kind of blade do you use on acrylic
So that
on the
piece
panel
can fit
saw?
inside of it.
I forget. I might have a Diablo on there or something, but for acrylic, I always use something with a lot more teeth.
Damn, that's a
I
crater.
forget how many teeth per inch, but with extra teeth, let's put it that way. Yeah, so this part right here takes a long time. That's a lot of cutting. And one thing I learned about acrylic, I mean not acrylic, one thing I learned about HDPE, so when you look at this sheet right here, the bottom side is still factory. It's got the texture and everything, and then the top I cut part of it out. So when you do that with this stuff, it wants to bow. So you got to be real careful with it. I cut it down far enough to where it's not going to bow as bad, but if you just skim the top like a 1/4 inch, like you're going to inlay something, it'll try to bow on you because what you're doing is you're relieving the tension on one side, and once you do that, the other side is still there, so it tends to like curve on you. So this one didn't do it too bad because I cut it down so far, but that's what happens. So looks like what we have here is the acrylic piece with all the wire guides in it getting ready to go in. Hey, and it looks like we got 130 people in here, so hey, I'm going to do this more often because I like it. I can kick it with you guys and tell you all the stories about how all this stuff happened. I can reminisce on it a little bit because I like to look at these old videos too. I'm like, man, that came out good, or maybe, oh man, I should have done it this way, you know? So it's all learning from my own mistakes, maybe learning from something that I did that worked out perfect. So definitely peeling the paper off sometimes is a bitch. And this piece right here is starting to become flimsy because I cut all those channels into it. So I'm trying to be careful with this as well. Whatever happened to Amp Test Tuesdays, I still do them sometimes. I just do Amp Test any day though, because every time I want to do a test, it's just whatever day of the week. So I can't just rely on a Tuesday anymore.
It's a damn shame I'm going to be sanding this whole top. But it's alright. For the better. For the better.
Okay, when I talk about sanding the top, I'm going to try to make it opaque. That way it glows. That's the best way to make something glow, is to sand it. What was my most frustrating project? Probably Chicken's white caddy, the hoopty, I bet. Probably the hoopty, because I'd never done a door panel on a scale like that before. Did I do his before I did mine? Did I do my... I wonder if I did my Tahoe before I did his Escalade. Okay, now, if I did his before mine, then his was frustrating, the most frustrating. If I did mine before I did his, then mine was the most frustrating. Whoever's doors I did first was my most frustrating, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And when you build all that stuff, and then you go to shut the door, and it won't shut,
Plenty of room.
talk about sweating. I got it all perfect, but you know, there's no book that teaches you how to do this. Every car is different. Ooh, look at those lights.
Would you just look at that?
Ah, see, I'm consistent.
Is that good, bud?
I think the same right now as I did when I built it. I get all excited when I see this shit.
I gotta see what this thing looks like in the caddy.
Even though it's not ready to put together yet. Yep, we're going to take it over there to the caddy, take a look at it. Hey, Mike Anazzato. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this is how it all happens, you guys. It's just
my handprint.
Like coming up with an idea. Like 5 minutes before this, well, not 5 minutes, but like just a day or so before this amp rack right here was just, the amps are sitting on 4x4 blocks and stacking them up and trying to see how it was going to fit in here. Now it's starting to take a little bit of shape. So look at that. Ooh, go first. Now these amps right here are $8,300 a piece, full MSRP. I didn't pay full MSRP. I get a good deal because I happen to know the engineers, you know what I mean? But I still paid a hefty price tag for them because they weren't free. I did get one for free for Christmas, and I bought the other 3. Look at those tight Nates. Look at them fitting right on in there. And then now we got these. Now, if you saw earlier what I did, this is the reason I did it. Ooh, look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Hey, this is going to be a fun little series. I'm going to start doing this because there's a lot of you guys in here watching it, and I'm having fun checking all this stuff out. And if I'm talking too much and I can shut the hell up. Look, okay, now hold on. There's some detail right there. Can you see the fine little details? Now there's a little notch right here that goes over the top. Can you see? Is my arrow showing up for you guys at all? It's hard to see, huh? Okay, so if you look at down the middle of these Demore Engineering amps, there is a badge that goes right over the top of the gauges. So there's a little tiny notch. I'm gonna back that up just a little bit. Look at the notch right here. So all this little stuff you got to take into consideration when you're making this, because it either looks bad or it just screws. I mean, I want to say the F word. It F's you a little bit. If that thing's sitting on top of that and it's got a big gap, it's just not. I don't know. I'm sure it would be fine, but no, I wanted to notch it out. So, anyways, look at this.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Just gonna grab a couple more amps.
Yes, sir. Oh, we got 150 people in here. Shout out to everybody in here. I love you if you're here. Love you if you're not. Unless you're talking shit.
Wait,
then I don't love you.
We're just mocking it up to make sure it all fits. It's got to come all the way back out.
We got the bro Jay.
Get worked on and wired some more, but I couldn't go home until.
Oh yeah, so I decided to do more lithium. I only had 4 at the time. I added a 5th one a little bit later. Oh yeah. Hey Chris, thank you man, thank you. Hey Steve Young, thank you man. What up, Chips? Hey, if anybody said something to me and I missed you,
more LEDs.
Feel free to chime in again. I might catch you on the next one.
Supply over there and bring them over.
I don't like you thinking I'm ignoring you. I'm just not always staring at the chat room.
Hold on, I got more.
Farizia. Yes, this is in my Escalade. This project is long done. The caddy's sitting in the garage right now. But these are we're going back to the builds. Maybe I'll call it back to the builds on these and then live. The live Ask Me Anything.
So sick.
When it comes to wiring, it's 4.0, too much for a run, too much to run for 1500 watts.
Do a little white faceplate around this to match them.
I would say that it's way too much for 1500 watts, but if you plan on upgrading in the future, then you can future-proof your system running 4-aught.
Nice.
If you're planning on sticking with just 1500 watts, don't run 4-aught.
That's what we got so far.
If you're planning on going big later and you don't want to run that wire later, then do it. Yeah,
anybody
for sure.
want to drop them seats down
That's
for me?
my opinion. Okay, so here we go. We're starting to look like an amp rack. Hey, go ahead and hit the like button if you guys want to run. I mean, we can run this
Okay, Jay, don't
video
worry about
too
getting
when
other
this is
seats for
done.
me or anything like that.
Before I call it done, and then I'll just meet up with you again. We'll run the next videos.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, what fell?
What's that? Oh, my back piece.
Yeah, back piece.
So before this is all done, like I said, these are going to light up. These little legs. This top platform should be glowing a little bit.
Hold on a second here. I'm going to press pause real quick.
And
so just so you know what's in here, because part of that isn't showing with my big head in the way. So we're going to go and move my head out of the way for a second. I'm over here on OBS. Logitech webcam, bam. Okay, so here we go right there. This is your this is the amps that are in it right here. Like I said, these are going to light up. More engineering. Two 1500.2s. Top platform. Two 1500.4s. And they're the A series amps. And the back piece as well is going to be on. And this back piece needs to be modded a little bit before it's finished, so it can sit up here. That's easy money. Just have to do it. Little miscalculation, but no big deal. One little cut at the bottom is going to fit nice and flush. Adam, I like the DM810 a lot.
Just to show you what's going to happen. I want to go in there.
There's a couple of quirks that it had that they worked out, but I do like it, especially the custom white one they made for me.
Nice.
So this black one gets turned into a custom white one. There's one of one in the world, and I got it.
We got that there.
They made it for me, or they shot it for me in
side one's
custom
here.
silkscreen.
That one light up too?
Yep.
And this one over here.
So these LEDs are just for testing.
Super sick.
Hey, who wants to run video too while you got me on? Or do you want to just
that's all more work.
You want to end this video and run it again tomorrow, or do you want to run one more?
For now,
I'm not ready to get off with you guys yet.
Don't forget to watch the next video.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. Hey, I'll ride with you guys. Let's go. Video 2. All right, so I'm trying to remember this stuff as I go because I didn't pre-watch this. I'm getting excited looking at it because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool. So it looks like these are going to be my step-down modules, because as you know, or you might know, the Escalade is dual voltage. So I got 14-volt batteries on the system and 12-volt battery for the truck. So the 12-volt side charges at like 13, and the 14-volt side charges at 16.4, which I could charge up to 17, but the amps don't like it. So 16.4 is as high as I go, and it's a great fun project. But if I had to do this all over again, I'd probably just keep it 12 volts. The Escalade does not like anything over 15.7, and this really makes my life difficult. Everything works perfect, don't get me wrong. In the end, when this is all done, everything works perfect. It's just, I'll explain to you.
Number 5.
I'll explain to you some of my regrets when this is all done. We'll talk about my regrets, what I would do over again, and why. But for right now, I love it. Everything works perfect. It's just, you know, sometimes you make life more difficult on yourself than you really need to. But it is what it is. Now this right here is my 5th 14-volt battery, because I had 4 originally, and I decided I had room for one more. Yeah, Chris, I don't think that was a custom battery. That's my custom step-down box, and that'll be coming up in this video build series as well. We'll talk about it. JT1. Almost every system I put on YouTube, I go through and I set everything up with the audio control.
On the inside.
So you can get some tips by watching that.
The wires in.
And you'll see it in this video too eventually.
Out here. So that'll be nice.
How do the more engineering amps compare to the T2500 BDCP? Man, there is no comparison. I love the T2500 BDCP, but there's no comparison to the DeMore engineering amp.
It's supposed to be. We've been working on the LEDs just a little bit. They're not permanent yet. When I take the whole rack out of here, I'll know where I want them.
The step-down box is
where they're supposed
probably
to be.
One of my favorite things in the whole truck.
Spots, but I'm getting the idea of what I want to do.
One of them. It's a work of art.
And as you can see, it's working out
But it's hidden, and no one ever gets to see it.
This is just
but you guys will see it again if you watch enough of these videos with me. So, all right, here we go, you guys. This is what we're looking at.
Now that this amp rack has been in the vehicle, and I see that it's going to work out okay, I think. I also see a few things I need to change, a couple things I need to fix. That was the whole reason I even put it in there. And now it's out. We're going to do just that. Cut a little bit off of this, and the back piece will be good to go. Then I got a few more things I got to do.
I guess I could just let my other self talk for most of this because I'm explaining it all. Okay, hold on.
Perfect. Much, much better.
You can see how much stuff is in this box. Hold on. Not this box, this amp rack.
Perfect. Much.
Let me show you how much stuff is in this amp rack alone so far. This is just so far. Can you guys see all that? Oh, 3 stands of LEDs. That's supposed to say 3 strands. God damn it. Spelling. Come on, Mr. Mead. Spelling, buddy. Dang, I just noticed that. See? Find something new every time. Alright, anyways, there you go.
Much better. Oh, yeah.
Nope, no reason to switch to. Why would I take lithium out and put a cap in? No reason. I have all Titan 8 lithium in this vehicle. Hey, you know what? I would love for you guys to hear this Escalade someday.
Little number 8 by 32.
Chris, Chris, I would love for you to hear it. I would love anybody who wants to hear it. Now, this isn't a sixth order wall with 1515s in it. It's not that kind of build. It sounds good. Those ones sound good too. I don't mean it like that, but this is more of a sound quality loud type of system. It gets loud, but the sound quality is what I was shooting for more than anything. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is I'm tapping the holes because this amp rack is put together with 8x32 fasteners. I might have already shown it when I was talking during it. I could have glued it together, but I wanted to be able to pull it apart if I need to. I could have not glued it. I could have bonded it with solvent. Okay, now if you guys ever tap acrylic, you'll find that a drop of WD-40 helps a lot. Makes those threads really nice. Tomaz, I really just like started, if you watched from the very beginning, the first video I just showed, it's all about just putting it in the vehicle and like mocking it up and setting it on 2x4s, and you might have a shoebox over there in the corner, putting it on a shoebox and moving things around and tilting it up, and maybe tilting it up on a roll of tape, whatever it takes. Anything, like I need a half-inch more, I need it to be up a half-inch more, so you get a roll of tape and put it under there, you know, and you get a concept, and then you just go from there, get up on the computer or get up on some scratch paper or whatever, and it just all just takes off from there. I don't want to use a bar of soap because I'd rather have it look nice and clear. So after that WD-40 goes through, those threads look nice and shiny. They look almost polished sometimes. So I don't know about soap. Close up right there.
So I do like the way this looks, but I think it'll pop a lot more if the bottom was white and not black.
I don't really go to that many shows lately anymore. My business is, it's hard for me to walk away from it.
We'll slip it in there and
There's
we'll
things
see.
to do, but I almost went to Slamology, but I had a little health scare.
White
we'll talk about that another day.
I'm not sure what it is. It might not
I
be
had
a
my,
good idea to be
I had my
cutting
tickets,
this is, but I
I had my room, everything was paid for.
Fast.
It was done.
So I'm gonna get what I need out of this real quick.
We got a little fast forward action, so you don't have to look at all this stuff happening. So that's 1/8 inch weight. Chris, normally I fuse my power wire at the close to the batteries as I can. I don't fuse them again at the amp though.
So as I put this in
all my
together,
stuff is so close together. It's pretty much the same. The wire and the battery, or the amp and the battery, the fuse is so close, it doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna put some pockets in it. Something for the batteries to sit in.
Actually, Ben, I am doing all right, man. Blood pressure is like at an all-time,
over here, almost ready to go.
not low, but at an all-time normal. It was pushing 180s, so I got a little worried. Now I'm in the 117 to 125 range. Again. Oh, my face is even back on here again. I'm over here talking, my face.
Oh, I did this right.
You need to see my face. Oh, here I am. What up, what up, what up? Hey, Big Wheel, I'll be in Miami pretty soon here, and then I'm going to drive up to Daytona Beach from there. I don't know the exact dates, but real soon. Yeah, I had big plans to go to Slamology. I was excited about it, but yeah, just didn't work out, so oh well. Okay, so what did I do here? I'm trying to remember. Okay, I took that bottom piece that I originally did with the wire guides, and I put it back on the table, found where my XY was, and I carved in
thing in its permanent position.
The battery pockets.
And all the details get lost
That's
in the
where
mix.
the lithium batteries sit in those pockets.
You might not be able to see all this pocketing as well. It's probably going to glow, though. We got the mounting holes.
Yeah, Shannon, I got family in Daytona and Port Orange and
we got the batteries gonna drop down
Smyrna
about
Beach.
0.35, and they're gonna get fastened in place from there. They'll never move.
Gel batteries for backup
and we got
power.
wire guides.
I mean,
These little strips
you mean
right
AGM?
here allow wires to pass.
I use
through
AGM
underneath
sometimes,
those bottom
yes.
amps.
Ooh, look, it's starting to light up. Okay, I'm trying to remember what I did here. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm fastening the acrylic down to the HDPE. Ooh, look at that little fit, those little pockets. See how this just starts coming together one piece at a time? Okay, so these are 1024 stainless. Some of it's covered up on my big head, but those are 1024 stainless Allen bolts holding those things down to the acrylic. Yeah, these amps are sexy, Chris. I know they are, man. That's why I got them. And they're gonna sound, or they do sound sexy. These are some of the best amps that you can get right here. Okay, so let's see. Let me back that up a little bit so you can see what I have here for my wiring. We got all sky high, of course. So we got sky high 12 gauge, sky high 10 gauge on the 6.5s. So 12 gauge on the tweeters, 10 gauge on the 6.5s, 8 gauge on the subs. We bought the bulk RCA cable and put our own ends on them. And of course, sky high 2.0. So we did our own ends, so all the wires are custom lengths. So there's nothing bow tied and zip tied anywhere in there. They're all exactly the length they're supposed to be. I mean, I don't know, man. You can bolt those things down, or you can use the SMD blackjacks. Nope, no family in Tampa. Look at these amps, you guys. I mean, these, man. I'm gonna have these the rest of my life. I'm never letting these things go. Hell yeah, man. If there's another slam, I may go. If I do, I'll be glad to take a picture with you, my brother. Hey, Ashton Wagner, $2. Can you make a video metering the caddy? I mean, I could if I was going to meter the caddy. I don't really see a purpose in it. I mean, I'm sure it probably does at least a 151 maybe. But it's not that kind of vehicle.
10 gauge OC all ferruled up. We got 12 gauge OC.
This isn't an SPL vehicle. And keep in mind, I've got four 1500 watt amps. But in all fairness, these amps will do about 3,000 watts a piece. So, but they're Class A/AB 1500 watt amps. How old was I when I started car audio? I was 14. And I'm 50. I just turned 53 a couple days ago.
Showed up. Let's see what he's got.
And I'm not going to say I was any good at 14. That's just when I started doing it and working on people's cars. Working on my car that never left the garage until I was 17.
Oh, that one doesn't look very heavy. Oh,
any updates on any upcoming SMD products? There is some very cool updates happening, but I just can't tell you about it. If you've been watching my video game feed where I'm gaming and bullshitting with you guys,
do my work for me.
I've made a couple things flash across the screen.
Is that 12 or 15?
So you just got to kind of be there until it's ready.
All right, set her down right on the
okay, so
I'm gonna help you guys.
I still have these 415s. I never opened them yet. I bought 4 B2 Audio 15s, and I decided to do 412s instead.
Green.
And then as I was designing the box for the 412s, I was like, man, I got room for 612s. So I ended up doing 6. I have no business putting 612s in that Escalade. That ain't the kind of system this is, but I guess I got a little bit buck wild. And, we'll build that box. We'll go live. And we'll talk about that box build as well, too. Because I think this is kind of fun. I like this a lot, man. And that first 20 minutes went by fast. So this one is about halfway through. Got about another 15 minutes to go, 16 minutes. Hey, Ray, appreciate you, man. I don't always feel great. I feel, you know, everything is the big one. Every time I ache, I feel like it's the big one. But I feel good some days, and other days I'm like, man, I'm getting old. Okay, so those wires right there, if you look, they're all heat shrunk and then double heat shrunk.
Side terminals, so you can attach them together. They also got bottom ones too. And for this configuration, we're going to use the bottom ones. Those things are going to be
kicked and shift.
So nice
nope, there would not be a difference between the wood and the acrylic.
I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do it.
As long as they're both
Before
stiff.
I started filming, I want to make sure I was going in the right direction.
And they don't leak.
I think I am. So
there shouldn't be no difference. If one
more
vibrates more than the other, there would be a difference. But
link them all together.
2 boxes that are built strong and they don't resonate. There shouldn't be no difference. Oh, we got 173 people in here. What's going on, you guys? I appreciate you guys for coming in. This is a fun little series that I'm going to be doing. I kick back and talk to you guys. And I like gaming, and we're going to do more of that. But I also like going over these old videos and reminiscing and talking about it. Like, man, I forgot about all this stuff right here. So we got Sky High 2-Watt running through all the veins of all this stuff. Back at the laser again. Okay, but what are we doing here? I'm trying to remember. What is this? Okay, I don't even remember what this is. So I'm gonna. Okay, this is for the front. I think for the wire guides, because there's also like a little front plate that the wires pass through and go to the back, so that way they look clean and they're not just draped over the top. That's right. Yeah, let's see it. That's right. Yeah. Hey Shannon, thank you for checking in, my bro. Appreciate you. Come back, see us tomorrow. I'm gonna run some more of this tomorrow. Do some gaming in the morning, and then later on in the evening we'll go over some of this older stuff again. Any updates on the Civic? Tyler? Nope, sorry, no updates on the Civic. Alright, so you guys want to talk about attention to detail. You probably don't remember a lot of this. But this is all the little stuff that nobody sees. You look at my Escalade at the amp rack, you don't see this right here. You don't know that I did this unless you watch the videos and you got a really good memory. But this stuff is all, it's all in there. And also, if you're new here and you don't know how this all works, that right there is it's solvent. It's acrylic solvent. Not glue. So if you hit that liquid and you have no air in between your pieces, it'll bond and be stronger than the actual piece itself. All right, Shannon, I'll catch you tomorrow, man.
Got these little pieces here pre-taped.
So when I say pre-taped, I'm using the 3M, the clear stuff. This stuff is really strong also. And that right there was just so the shelf had something to sit on.
And right up in there. So those are a little bit of support. Even though it's going to be held on right here, it's just a little bit more support on the end so it doesn't fall apart.
I think you kick. I try, man.
Right down the middle of this before this is finished, but I want to see how it fits. It should fit good.
Yeah, look, these are all things that disappear. You don't see this anymore when you look in the back of my caddy. You just see 4 amps and you're like, that's cool.
You can see that on camera or not.
But you don't see this. Look at that! I get excited. I like it. Okay, so what I did right here was, since that middle thing isn't being used for anything, the amps are actually supporting themselves across those two. I tapped that. I put a little. I tapped the acrylic right there and made it to where it holds up that way. So there's a piece on each side holding it up like a shelf. If you look in there. Look right in there, you'll see on each side that little piece for the shelf holds it up in the air, and then in the middle, so it doesn't sag, I've got a hole that is drill or laser cut and then tapped. That way, it holds itself in the middle and doesn't sag.
LEDs are
and I also put LEDs on those too.
Time to pop the amps back into their spot.
Hey, CB Dagger, appreciate you, man. If you got any questions about it, ask me. Right now's the time.
Got my boy Anthony over here whipping me up some custom length RCAs.
My son, I taught him how to solder, and he's so good at it.
He's badass.
I have him do all this little stuff for me. So these RCAs are all custom made. Eric, I play a lot of games, sports, all the sports, and when it comes to shooters, I like PUBG. I play that more than anything. I'm a PUBG addict. You know what? We make some badass RCAs at my shop. It's just that we haven't had time to like make enough of them, and by the time I get done paying somebody the money that these guys make per hour to make this stuff, those RCAs get expensive being handmade. Not these, but better ones. We have really super nice braided ones, like real nice top high-end shit, but they're not cheap. So I know a lot of people are gonna cry about the price. So it's easier just to not put them up just yet. What I need to do is hire somebody to come over and all they do is make RCAs all day long for us. Okay, so this is one of my SMD FB1 full bars. It's a full block copper. So in this, you can use it for whatever you want, but in this vehicle it's copper, and they're for my grounds. And look at those countersunk, drilled and tapped holes, man. You just gotta love that. Man, if somebody was building this for me and I saw that, I'd go over there and pat him on the back and say, that looks good, man. I would. What country would I say buys the most of my products? USA, of course. But we sell them all over the world. Do I not have any music right here? Normally I put the, when I'm doing time lapse, I have some music playing in the background. Oh, okay, so check out my heater. I bought that a couple of years ago because it gets cold in the winter in my shop. But it also turned out to be a good heat shrinker. I wonder if I did that in this video. I must have if I showed it like this, yeah. Cheater! Look at me cheating. Okay, so what I do right here, if you look, you can see that I take the, if you look, you see I take that heat shrink over the top a little bit and onto the wire. And I do that so when I go to put the wire into the amp or into the terminals that I used, that they kind of go in and then you don't see any copper. Because sometimes even when you do the best job of putting them in there, you can look in there and if you're bending the wire down and you're moving the wire to where it goes, you're gonna see some copper. So that helps to where you don't see it. So. Alright, thanks Steve. Appreciate you, man. Hell yeah. The reason I'm putting heat shrink on these wires when they really don't have a connector on them, they're gonna go into a block, is because that tight bend. Oh. I don't really want to see. And look at me being consistent again. I'm trying to explain something, but I should just let extra right there will be just enough to cover. I should just let other me do the talking. Whatever happens when I pull it around and make that little 180. So let's slide them in their spot. It should fit good. Okay, so I want you guys to also keep in mind as we're watching this video. Look at this thing coming together. Okay, so if you look at these bottom terminals, I don't know if you can see my arrow or not, but these terminals all changed. So the bends that I'm doing on these wires now, they changed because I got my buddy Kong, who has a badass machine shop around the corner. I had him make me some new copper terminals that actually are 90 degrees instead of these ones the way they are. So that part is going to change throughout the video. So just keep that in mind when you look at this. Hey, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man. The DD1 is pretty awesome. And we've got a new DD1 and new DD1 Plus coming out soon. Just to let you know, with more frequencies. Look, okay, so do you guys see this? You remember that piece right there? This is why I did that little piece that I tell you guys, it doesn't get any love, but it's in there. So what that does, that brings the wires from back in the batteries to the front without the wires coming off of these blocks and laying directly on top of the amps. Look at this. So there's a reason for everything, and you got to kind of think ahead a little bit, because if you build this rack and you don't do something you wanted to do, you might not be able to do it anymore. Hey, what's up, Birdie Bird? We got Jay Bird in the goddamn house. Birdie Bird. Hey, if you guys remember Jay Bird, right? He's in here. See now, this right here is one of my favorite tools. Look at my little stripper. But I want to make sure you guys know that you shouldn't just buy this stripper without talking to me first, because if you buy it, if you do a lot of zero gauge and a lot of bigger wires, it's awesome. But unless you modify this tool, it's not going to work. This tool right here does not like car audio wire at all, and it won't work. You have to modify it, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that knows how. Have I noticed the difference between copper versus aluminum dual inputs? Mike, the answer to that is no. There really isn't any difference. People go gaga for copper, and so do I. Copper is better than aluminum as far as conductivity, but we're never going to know the difference for what we do ever. So it's just all it really is a flex. Oh man, I don't have my time lapse music playing. I wonder what happened. I wonder if YouTube cut it off due to copyright or something. Okay, look. Okay, so here's the bends I was talking about. See how they're bending the block and they're going right into the amp with those terminal adapters? They're not going to be like that in the videos coming up. So if you know what they look like right now, if you've seen them, you'll know they look much better the way that we ended up doing it. So just want to let you know ahead of time.
Finish the job. In the meantime, I do have some white and black Sky High 8 gauge. This is going to be
ported or sealed box. What do I prefer?
Ends.
I definitely prefer ported. I've got no problem with sealed boxes. I've heard some that just destroy your so much bass. It's ridiculous. So I'm not against sealed, but I like ported better, personally. Well, no, hold on a second, Adam. If you're Adam Franks. Now I want to go back because Adam is out. He's saying copper handles more current and heat much better than CCA. Well, I wasn't talking about CCA. I was talking about those terminal blocks, those adapter blocks. So if you have an aluminum adapter block versus a copper adapter block, you're probably not going to tell any difference at all. But if you're talking about OFC cable, like 2-watt OFC versus 2-watt CCA, the OFC is going to be way better. The copper is way better, for sure. But when you're talking about a block of aluminum versus a block of copper, copper is a better conductor than aluminum, but not so much that we'll know the difference. Copper-clad aluminum is just garbage. I mean, period. So, anyways, back to the video here. I just wanted to make that clear. I was not saying there's no difference between CCA and OFC because there is a big difference. Just the adapter blocks, you ain't gonna know no difference. In terms of 4th versus 6th orders, what's the best EQ? Technically, a 6th order should be better, but nobody who builds a you don't really build a 6th order bandpass for a sound quality car. But you know what? Most of your sound quality is going to come from up front, anyways. Like the bass is very little of your sound quality system.
We'll skip on the blue remote.
If you have a super strong front end with lots of mid bass and time aligned and sounds perfect, you could just add an 8 in the back and you'd be complete. If you're talking about a 6th or a 4th order, you're trying to get a lot of bass in a certain frequency range and to get loud. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just not something I would do probably. Ant Vids, if you want something cut on the machines or on the lasers, you can. We have a SMD manufacturing email, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Anthony runs that. But you can hit up sales@wccaraudio.com and let us know what you need. Hopefully, if you have drawings, that helps out a lot too. Here we go with the wire ferrules on all these. I think these are my remotes. They're either my remotes or something. I forget what they are. Yeah, these are my remotes. So that little hole in between those bigger ones, that's what this is for. for that wire to get fed through. Alright, man, we almost got 200 people in here. I like it. I like it a lot. That tells me I need to do this more. And I like talking to you guys and going back and seeing what all I did, because as you can see, some of this stuff I don't remember what I did. So I'm remembering as I go. Eric Tyson, no, I don't really offer a system design. Sorry, I don't even know where I would begin with somebody else's car unless I had it in front of me. I wouldn't even know where to begin charging somebody for that. I don't remember the last time I charged anybody for any services other than my blocks.
All right, getting ready to cut these custom RCAs.
Yep. Custom length.
And Don's gonna handle that for me. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And
hey, we got $5 from Ashton Wagner. Just watched the Yukon Skeletor build series for the 3rd time. It's one of my favorite builds. Hey man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for saying that. And we just finally got it sounding great. I knew that box slammed. It's just that his roof was vibrating so bad that it was ruining it. Now it's on point. God damn, that thing hammers. No joke. I'm very, very thrilled with that, the outcome of that box.
All the RCAs.
Other than Jaybird for 140, I think I lost what you were saying.
Got to run the little phone jack for the ACR3.
Well, I didn't charge the Bird 140. I owed the Bird 140. If you watch the whole build, you'll know why I owe him 140. So, get some audio control, of course, over here. Keep in mind, if you don't remember me saying this earlier, if you're just now tuning in, this DMA10 audio control ended up doing a custom powder-coated white version for me, and they had all the lettering re-silk screen on with black on the white with the blue. Came out sick as hell. Matches my build real nice. 1 of 1. Hey, CB Dagger. Hey, shout out. Look. I'm pausing this for a second. Shout out to CB Dagger and anybody else who remembered exactly, because I hate when I describe something, why something is a certain way, and then people are like, oh, sure, that was a $140 build. No, I explained it. And people like CB Dagger paid attention. Basebox Pro for $140. When I was first starting this out, not this build, but like when I was first coming up, and some of the first things I got was like, I don't know, like a circle jig was like high tech. I bought a circle jig. Wow, I can use my router and make a perfect circle. You know, these are like innovations for me in the early days. But my buddy Bird, I put a system in his car, and he's one of the first people to ever toss me a couple of real dollars to put his system in. And while I was doing it, he's all, you know, you want this I couldn't afford the $140 for this program. I mean, I had money. I mean, I wasn't rich or anything like that, but spending $140 back in the early 90s on software for a computer, yeah, that was hard to do, especially raising kids. So the Bird bought it for me. He said, you can pay me back some other time. And, well, I waited years and years and years, and finally one day I used that program so many times I really owed him. But I tried to give him the 140 a couple of times, and he wouldn't take it. I tried to slip it in his pocket. He wouldn't take it. Tried to put it in his ashtray. He wouldn't take it. So, you know, over time, you know, one day I decided to give him a whole system, and I said, this system's $140. And that's how that happened. But shout out to people that pay attention and they remember the things that I'm doing. I appreciate you. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate you, man. Oh, this is another one of my favorite new toys. It's not that new anymore. I've had it for a little while. Hey, and another thing, I had my buddy Kong make me custom dies for this Milwaukee crimper. So I'm not even using these dies anymore. I got custom ones that he made in his machine shop. Bad as hell. Kong at Fast Precision. But these ones work good too. I just wanted a different type. I wanted more of a hex crimp than the one this one. This crimper and those dies aren't made for car audio wire. you've got a DD1 that's 21056, you probably, maybe that's, I'm not sure. I think we just hit 30,000 sold
I feel like I'm fighting a python
recently.
here.
So you're about 9,000 back. So it's not old. It's in the middle somewhere. We've been doing this since 2010. So 30,000 DD1 sold. That's just the regular DD1s. That's not the DD1 Pluses. That's not the DD1 HVs when we had them. That's not none of the other SMD stuff either. That's just the blue DD1.
I am out of black 2-aught. I'm about 8 feet short of what I need to do, and I got a little bit more white to do as well. But this is where I'm at so
about
far.
to come to an end, you guys, and I'm gonna check back in with you tomorrow.
Amp rack's looking good. Fuse holders are sort of hooked up. Distro block for the ground sort of hooked up. This stuff is not tidy yet, but you can see we're getting there.
Oh yeah.
We got custom length RCAs on this audio controlled DM810 processor, and this is about to be done up in white. They're doing me a custom one all in white with black lettering. Should be sick. It's going to take a couple weeks to get here though. It's an easy swap on that cover. So close, so close.
So you can see it's taking shape.
Before I end this video, let's change the colors a couple times and see what we got. We got red. Red's looking good. I like all the colors. We got blue.
Yeah, and those terminals on those bottom amps changed. Probably in the next video you'll see it. That way they don't got to bend a full 180. They're going to dive straight down into the amp instead. They'll look a lot better.
But most of all, I'm a big fan of just the white.
I do like white LEDs.
And to be honest, it looks pretty damn good without the lights on it. I like it just like this. Shows off the copper a little bit better.
Yep. This video is almost over. We got about a minute left, and then I'm going to hang up with you guys for the night, and we'll fire this back up and do it again tomorrow.
So for right now, this is where I'm at. I can't finish it up. I can't even turn the amps on until I get those last two grounds. But you know we'll do that in a video coming up real soon. This thing's going to spend some time on the test bench. I got to make sure everything's working. Gonna make sure that processor's processing, doing what it's supposed to do. And of course I got those B2 audio subwoofers that showed up a couple days ago.
Keep in mind, what you're looking at is two 1500.4s and two 1500.2s. So one of those 1500.4s is running the tweeters on one set on the front. I mean, there's no front and rear. It's channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. But on channels 1 and 2 would be the tweeters. Channels 3 and 4 would be the 3-inch mids. Channels 5 and 6 on the other amps are they're all the 6.5. So one 300 or one 1500.4 runs all four 6.5s in the vehicle. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 6.5s in there. Let me see, 1, 2. Wait a minute, is there 8? No, there's 2 sets of 3-ways in the front. I'm so stupid, you guys. My math is just gone right now. I don't know what my problem is. Okay, so one amp runs 4 6.5s, and the other amp runs the tweeters and the 3s, and then the top 2 amps run the subs. They're 2-channel amps that are bridged. So
I need to unbox those as well.
We'll talk more about that later on.
Video that's coming up real soon. And for right now, on a Saturday, short on wire, nothing else to do on this. I'm out of here. Time to go edit some video. Later.
Yep. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for joining me tonight and going live. And we had 200 people in here for a little bit. That was awesome. And we'll do it again, and we'll change the subject. We'll go to the box build. We'll go to the Tahoe. We could show you guys some stuff that maybe you didn't see, or I can explain some stuff that maybe you had questions about over the years. And overall, I just had fun kicking back and watching this with you guys. This is awesome. So have a great Saturday night. Thanks for joining me live. And for right now, I'm out of here. Later, my brothers and sisters, if there's any chicks in here.